Poke, hey, Alita Army, welcome to the Alita Livestream of January the 14th, 2022. How does Alita compare with Spider-Man? Where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host, the Muskogee Creek from Denver, Colorado in the U.S., and as normal, I guess I'm the only one here right now. We do have some folks coming on, including Science Fiction Remnant and possibly Mike Reyes. I guess Maxie will be along, and Angelus and Dan and some of the regular crew. So anyway, we're going to be chatting about this, about how does Alita stack up against a superhero like Spider-Man. Spider-Man's pretty incredible himself, and that they don't call him the Amazing Spider-Man for nothing, because he is he's pretty strong, and he's certainly an Avenger, so that makes him a top tier type of superhero himself. So, and I guess Do Not Stand By also was supposed to show up too. So, and I see Lee Lemon out there. Hello, Lee. How are you doing? And as promised, I'm also going to show you some video of the Kansas bar in Denver. So anyway, in other words, it's just my personal bar where I have that Kansas sign and that sort of thing. And I was kind of waiting for some of the other folks to come on, but I guess we'll go ahead and show that, and then if they want to see it again, we can always play it again. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the video that I shot about for the Kansas bar, and there'll be a little bit of a surprise at the end of it. And there it is. So you see the Kansas bar. That sign you see above there, it's really dark. That was that's called Scott's Pub, is on that sign. It's basically my late stepfather had that at his bar, and I kind of inherited it when he passed away. And you see some Denver Bronco pennants there, lots of booze. That box you see there is all the medals that he actually obtained earned when he was in World War II as a fighter pilot, there on the right. And then, of course, here's this is my I Love Me wall, some of my sporting wins, I guess. And there's a couple of trophies up there. And you can see I used to play in a band years ago. So anyway, there's 3 guitars. And, going back over here to the corner, I want to zoom in on this one picture right here. This is back in 1995. I was in Germany, and there's some friends of mine. And you see me there holding the beer. And then you can see up there, that's the guest house that my friend in Germany owns. And then there's a trip. This chronicles my trip in England back in 93. And then there's my trip to Germany in 95. And you can see a British pound and a Deutschmark. Their Deutschmarks are no longer in force because they use euros. And of course, my powerlifting medals. That certificate on the bottom there is my black belt. And there's some more trophies and that sort of thing. So anyway, but a special guest here, of course, is our girl. My niece Alita. She had to decide she wanted to come visit her Uncle Creek, at the bar. So anyway, that's pretty much it. And welcome, Maxie.
Hello.
How's it going? How's everything?
Yeah, just trying to work out where the hell your stream's gotten to. I couldn't find it on YouTube. It wasn't coming up. Wasn't even showing that you were live. I was like, what?
Oh, holy cow. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It shows live. So,
well, it wasn't showing me. Apparently, I wasn't allowed to know.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah, I think
because I am looking at it right now. So anyway,
when I first opened YouTube, like 3 or 4 minutes ago, it wasn't showing, but then I found it if I reloaded it.
Yeah. So anyway, for those of you who don't already know, which there's only 4 of you out there, so I am so sure you know, but Maxie is from near Sydney in New South Wales, Australia. So anyway,
that answer is correct.
Yes, it is. See, I get it right sometimes, sometimes. So
it took you a year to get that right, as I remember.
Yeah, I think so, because I thought for some reason that you were in Melbourne, didn't I, at one point? And then I also thought you were in Brisbane, but that was Angeles. So yeah, I was
apparently
all over
I get
the place.
around.
Yeah, evidently you do. So anyway, I kind of want to show this again just for the folks out there before we start talking about Spider-Man and Alita. And I'm not going to go through the whole thing here, but just wait a minute, where is the bar? There it is, right there. There's that sign. I guess Jeff, did that sign for me, and man, he did a fantastic job. As you can see, those letters, they look just like the letters in the Kansas bar in the movie. So yeah, he did great. So I'm really proud of that sign. When I first got it, boy, I hung it up there as fast as I could. So anyway, but anyway, that's it. That's the Kansas bar, of course, in Denver, Colorado, and then of course here's our girl, my niece Alita. She's sitting there at the bar. So anyway, so of course I photoshopped that in there. So actually, it wasn't Photoshop. I just used paint, and it turned out pretty good, I think. So. Anyway, what's going on, Maxie? What's happening there in New South Wales?
Oh, well, we're knee deep in COVID, probably neck deep actually by now.
Oh, geez.
We had a change of government. Well, not even a change of government. It was the premier changed over because she got caught doing. The previous premier had done a really good job actually dealing with keeping the COVID cases down. And then we got this new premier in who's a bit of a Bible basher and only cares about the economy. So he stopped all the lockdowns and opened everything up, and everybody caught COVID because of Omicron. So
yeah.
Now we've got like 30. Well, we've only got like maybe 5 million people in New South Wales, maybe 6, something like that, 6 million people, I think, and we had 29 deaths yesterday, and something like what was it, 15,000 cases or something.
Wow! And is that in all of Australia or just New South Wales?
That's just New South Wales. It's more if you count the other states, but yeah, the previous premier was much more of a people shouldn't be getting sick, and this one's like, yeah, it doesn't matter. We'll just keep on keeping on, and everyone can get sick. So it's not great.
Well, that's why I'm triple vaccinated. I don't want to get sick. So anyway, Lee Lemon, I think Lee is down there in Colorado Springs. I think, Lee, if I'm not wrong about that. I will have to shoot you my address, and we'll set it up. You and I and Alita Rave and Do Not Stand By. We'll all have to do a little thing in the Kansas bar at Denver. And welcome Dizzy from near Hobart in Tassie.
What's going on?
Good day, mate.
Hoka hey.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, you got it right. So how's everything down in Tassie?
It's good, mate. Nice and sunny. The cricket's down here for the first time ever. Life's good.
Damn, we're getting snow up the yin yang here. Holy crap. So yeah, we're getting some snow. All right. Kind of messed up my run a little bit, because I can't get out and run in the snow, obviously.
It'd be like running in cold sand.
Yeah. Except when you hit that ice and fall and bust your ass, then you're in big trouble, You need
the shoes. You need the shoes with the spikes in them.
Or the tennis racket shoes.
Yeah, those two. Yeah, what them damn things called? I forget now. Snowshoes. Yeah, exactly. So well, you probably couldn't run in them, but you could definitely walk in them. So that's a good thought, Dizzy. I hadn't thought of that. So you guys get, I'm sure down in Hobart you get snow, but you get it when we're in summer and you're in winter, right?
Yeah, it doesn't snow too much here, but like when it does, it can get pretty hectic. Like I've built snowmans before.
Oh.
You put them on the bonnet of your car and drive around with them.
Yeah.
I remember back in the 90s, I don't remember exactly which year in the 90s it was, but they had the they moved the Boxing Day test from Melbourne to Hobart. Yeah. And it was snowing on the big mountain behind Hobart, and it was like 16 degrees Celsius. And they were trying to play cricket. Good God.
Jesus.
Well, you see, cricket balls are really hard, and when it's cold, your hands get cold, and if your hands are cold, it really fucking hurts.
Boy, you get hit with one of them damn things too. I bet it hurts, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. Hey, I was watching it yesterday, and the ball came down at like 146 k's right into someone's nutsack, and he went down. I was like, yeah, nah.
Holy
didn't he have a box on?
Yeah, well, it must have clipped like the part in between the leg and the box and got in there somehow.
Yeah, no, I've had that happen. I've had that happen to me. That's unpleasant.
Yeah, many years ago, I used to play fast pitch softball, and I was a pitcher, and my catcher, one of the catchers, he refused to wear a cup, or a box, as you call it.
Yeah.
He refused to do it. He said, "Those things are uncomfortable." And I said, "Man, one of these days you're going to regret that shit, Yep. And sure as hell, we were playing a game, and a guy had a foul tip and hit him right in the jewels, boy. And he was writhing around on the ground for about 10 minutes. And
vomit inducing.
That's right. And he wore a cup after that.
I bet he did.
Did he have anything left to protect? I think the family jewels would become the family gravel.
Probably come out of his mouth.
He did, but he was not able to finish the game. We had to get another catcher. Had to get the second string catcher.
Of course.
So anyway, that was. I laugh at it now, but it wasn't too funny then. I mean, he was in definite pain, So. Anyway, let me show I want to show Dizzy. I don't know if you saw the Kansas bar in Denver. I want to play that video one more time, just so you can kind of see it. So anyway, there's that. You see that sign right up here at the top? Not the Kansas sign, but the other one. That was my late stepfather's sign. He had that made for him when he was. When he had his bar, he passed away many years ago, and I inherited the sign. So, and there's another sign I'm extremely proud of right there, of course. So,
is this you now with the camera, or this is before?
Yeah, no, well, no, that I recorded this. So,
yeah. What would make that sign, the Kansas bar sign, really pop out is, like you've got all your bottles and all your fridge and that. Like if you were to put the blue lights behind that to match the sign, that would be epic.
Well, one of the things I do want to do, it would make it look nice. See, I got it's kind of like a veil looking thing I got there for the back door, but I want to block off the light. You're going to see it a little bit later. That's me on the right holding that beer, and that's some of my friends in Germany. So
when was that, mate?
95. So
you can tell the mullet's flowing quite nice there, mate.
Yeah, it is. So anyway, and those two little collages there kind of chronicle my trip.
Is there any 80s creaky getting around? There'd be some epic mullets in there. Come on, mate.
Yeah, there's no 80s stuff around there. So anyway, but anyway,
Dizzy, what are you trying to get Creaky to grow his mullet back?
Because I don't know, I just seen his mullet and I was like, yeah, he needs to save some chicks for the rest of us with that thing flopping around the back.
And then, of course, that's our girl right there. You see in the back there, that's kind of just kind of frosted glass back there. I'm going to cover that, so it's dark. And then that way it'll, kind of show up a little bit better, and the lights will be a little more like the Kansas bar. So anyway, I thought maybe Dizzy might like seeing that. So
That's good, mate. I'm
Hey,
jealous.
man.
I want that. I want that in my sign, in my fucking room.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
Angelus,
jealous.
respect your elders, you bastard.
Yeah. Well, he's right though. I was looking pretty young back then, I guess. So
I'll tell you an interesting story just quickly because we were talking about cricket and getting hit by cricket balls. I was playing cricket for my university team back in the early 90s, ANU, and was doing pretty well in thirds. The thirds is like the third.
Oh, you're a college athlete.
Well, sort of, kind of. I was a left arm over the wicket. Dizzy will know what that is, but all you Americans will be like, what the fuck? But it's difficult to play against if you're not a really good batsman. It's difficult to play against left arm over the wicket because it comes in behind your legs rather than the normal way from a right arm bowler.
Is that is that like a left-handed hitter in baseball, or is it?
Yeah, it just throws everybody off because it's round the other way.
Yeah,
but you a right-hander will stand, like the bat in front of the wickets.
Yeah,
and most of the balls will come in towards the wickets and towards them on the bat side. Yep. But because I'm a left arm over the wicket bowler, it comes in around their legs. And if you're not good at playing off your legs, you get bowled a lot. Because I'd also bowl lots of different speeds, so they never knew how fast I was going to come at them. And I was like wrecking face with the low order batsmen. They put me in after they got the first couple out, and I just cleaned them all up. And it was going on quite well, but we were having fielding practice, and basically you'd stand there in a line, and the trainer would be off down the field, and he'd be smacking the cricket ball at you, and you have to run under it, catch it on your chest, and then throw it back. So I'm up there having a go. Now I was a stupid kid. I'd forgotten my field shoes, so I was just wearing runners, and I ran up to get the ball, and the grass was a little bit wet. And I went to take it on my chest, and my feet slid out from under me. So instead of taking it in my chest, I took it in the eye.
Oh!
From like 40, 50 yards away.
Oh, man.
It was not good. The sound of a cricket ball smacking you in the eye socket, when you hear it through your skull, not through the air, through your skull, is a shockingly... heart-wrenching sound, and it clobbered me, and then I went there like a sack of shit, as you would expect, and then I immediately jumped up again. It was like, adrenaline flowed into me, and I just leapt to my feet, and then I wanted to vomit, so I bent over again. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And I've still got a scar to this day above my eye from that cricket ball.
That reminds me of a time, I was in a batting cage, as what wasn't softball, was kind of like a baseball, those pitching machines was throwing the ball. And, that the thing was probably throwing that ball 90 miles an hour, and I was hitting it, and I foul tipped one of them, and that baseball hit me right in the eye, just like what you said. And just like you, I went down, bam, just like that. And then just like you, I got that shot of adrenaline, and I got back up in the cage, right over home plate, and started hitting the ball again, But I don't know if this happened to you, but, for me, for a couple of days, any bright light in my, it hit my eye, it really hurt, because my eye wouldn't adjust fast enough,
Oh, and I had a massive shiner. I had my eye was swollen closed.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I never bombed it, but I had a big time shiner myself. It was I remember, I was a couple of the guys that weren't practicing, they saw me with this big black eye, and I said, "What happened to you?" I said, "I went down to the bar downtown and got in a fight." So they believed me.
Well, my response, because I was living in the dorms on campus, so many people saw me, and they all asked me what the hell happened. I said, "Oh, you should have seen the other guy, mate."
Yeah, really. So anyway, hey, we got something in common there, Maxie. We both got hit in the eye with a ball. So, but I bet
that doesn't sound too good.
No, it doesn't. I bet that cricket ball though was a lot harder than a baseball, because a baseball's hard, but that cricket ball, that thing's made out of some kind of heavy duty wood, isn't it? Or
I don't
it's
know.
what's inside it is really tightly wound rubber cord, and then it's
okay.
got often it's got cork over the top of that, and then leather over the top of that. So it's like highly compacted and very hard. I mean, if you've ever watched a video of cricket, when you hear the bat and the ball come together, it's really loud crack.
Yeah, I've seen some cricket.
Or it breaks the bat.
Sometimes, yes.
It does kind of remind me of baseball a little bit. You know, I mean, guy's got to swing that bat, I guess. It's not called a bat, is it? What's it called?
It's a bat.
Oh, it's a bat. Okay, it is a bat. Okay, so, but I think you got the old hit for a 6, right? Where we got grand slam.
Home run.
Yeah, home run. Yeah. So, which is 4 bases. So, there you go. So,
What's the fastest pitch ever thrown?
In baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to a Colorado Rockies game once to watch the Rockies play the Atlanta Braves, and they had the Atlanta Braves had a pitcher that could throw the ball like 105 miles an hour. And I think the fastest pitch on record is 107, something like that.
That's 107 miles.
That's about 150 kilometers maybe per hour. I'm not sure, something like that. I guess you'd have to calculate it.
So the internet can't agree. Our oldest Chapman throws 105 miles per hour in 2011, but then another fella named Nolan Ryan threw 108.
Okay, so yeah, because I saw
74.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what is that? What's that in kilometers per hour?
About 170, I think.
170. Okay, 174 maybe. Yeah. Okay. I
The
don't care
fastest
how.
bowler in cricket's 161 k, so about 100. So yeah, pretty.
Yeah, but that thing you have to bounce it off the ground, don't you?
Yeah. And it spins, and the worst thing is that what they do is after a few hours of play, the ground starts cracking up, and they try and get it in the cracks. So what happens is it can ricochet fucking anywhere, and you've just got to be switched on. The spin bowlers love it.
Yeah, the spin. You can put spin on it. So basically, what you do is you leave one side of the ball rough because it's leather. It roughs up as you play with it. So an old ball will rough up, and you smooth down one side of it with your spit, and the other side you leave rough, and it'll cause it to spin in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you can. There's also stitches around the circumference of it, like the equator of the ball.
Yeah.
So you get your finger, like your middle finger, you put your middle finger on those stitches, and after you've used it a bit, they rise up a little bit as well. And as you let go of the ball, you flick that grip that you've got with that finger, and it spins the ball as well. So you can get all sorts of shitty spin.
Yeah.
So you have fast bowlers who just try and go as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And then you've got spin bowlers who make it as like move when it hits the ground. So
yeah, they have that in baseball. Yeah, baseball, they have fastball pitchers, and they got guys that have really good curves and drops and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting,
That's why those dudes over our dudes got caught cheating in South Africa, because they got the sandpaper and was roughing it up, got the sandpaper out of their pockets, and they was trying to rough up the ball that way, and they got done big time. They got banned for a couple of years.
Fucking stupid when you've got like 1,000 cameras pointed at you to try and do something.
And you're wearing white fucking uniform, and the tape is bright yellow.
Yeah.
It sticks out like dog's balls. Fuck.
Oh, they won't catch me. Oh yeah, they will. So anyway, I'm gonna have to watch some cricket. I have seen cricket. My grandfather used to play cricket. He was like a semi-pro cricket player, I guess, back in England. Way back in the day, long before I came along. But
was cricket even invented then?
I'm sorry. What was that?
He's ragging on you.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't mind.
He just busted.
Yeah.
There's three main types of cricket, right? So there's the original type, which goes for 5 days, and you've got to be really patient or really drunk to watch it. That's called Test cricket. And there's like this trophy which has ashes of the first ever stumps that were used in a match between Australia and England, and we have the Ashes series. So there's like 5 or 6 5-day matches, right? And you can get rained out, and weather can go bad and stuff like that. So it can be a bit less than that, but yeah, you've got to be pretty keen to sit through a lot of that. And then there's what's called the there's one that's 50 overs. So an over is 6 balls, like you bowl 6 times and then you swap ends. So that the pitch doesn't get all messed up, because they use grass pitches in the high level games, and they get damaged over time. So you've got your 5-day game. You've got your 50 overs per side.
That's
game.
the 1 days.
Yeah, that's the 1 days. And then you've got what's called the T20, which is 20 overs. And that's just a slog fest. Like, they just go out there and they just swing the bat at everything, try and put it over the fence. Yeah. So depending on what you want to see, I recommend the 1-day matches. They're quite watchable, because you get to see some sensible play, and then as it gets close to the end, they start throwing the bat at it. But the T20 is just like, go out there and throw the bat at everything. So that's the ADHD generation.
Yeah, not knowing much about cricket, I don't know what my grandfather played. I have no idea, but
T20s come along in the last 20 years. The 1-day series started in 82, I think it was. And that was started by Murdoch, if I remember correctly, because they wanted to put it on telly and make a bit of a spectacle of it. Test cricket was the original version, which the English came up with, because
since my grandfather passed away in 1986, and he was an old man then, it wasn't either of those, I think.
He probably played Test cricket.
Yeah.
I like test cricket the best, because there's more mouthing off.
You like to see them fight, do you, Dizzy?
Yeah. They get, when Australia normally play India, it goes off. They love sledging each other. Because they got like microphone, like wicket microphones down on the bottom there, so that, you can hear them mouthing off to each other, and sometimes they forget to turn it off and they're swearing and carrying on.
So anyway, they mic them up, I guess, just like they do our football games here. So yeah.
Well, they have microphones at the stumps on each end, because you want to be able to hear the bat and ball come together. And if they're walking past it on the way back to their mark to bowl or something like that, and they make a comment, can get picked up by that microphone.
Yeah. Let me make a little bit of an announcement here, because I just had to block somebody. If any of you see anything in the text chat, that has a really suspicious looking name, and you see just like some kind of weird looking website, URL or something, don't click on that thing. I'm going to block it as fast as it comes up, but
I think I can see one now, man. It's Angelus.
Yeah.
Give him the boot.
Nah, I can't do that. But I just had one that popped up there, and I blocked him. Sometimes they get pretty smart. They have a regular name on there. You don't know what's going on, So anyway, you have to kind of look for it.
That's Dizzy's mate, Mahaziga Vibis.
Yeah, mate.
Doesn't he owe you $20, mate?
He sounds like a mate of mine too.
Really?
Why? Because he owes you $20?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we can get on to the main topic here, and as you guys
have a main topic, really?
Yeah, we do. As a matter of fact, I had this sucker planned from last week, which is unbelievable for this stream. Anyway, just looking at Alita and Spider-Man, we're going to compare them, their characteristics and all that. We're going to go into Alita first, then we'll hit Spider-Man. Alita and Spider-Man will not be enemies in this. Now, that said, if they didn't know each other, I mean, certainly when they first meet, they're not going to know each other. But I think they'd pretty quickly, come to the conclusion, that, hey, this person's not my enemy. They're really on the right side of things. Although I've said many times, Alita has her moments, but Spider-Man is, he's a little different, but I don't think we're going to look at them as enemies here.
I reckon Spider-Man or Peter Parker or whatever he is will get geeked out by Alita. Like, you know what I mean? Like the Flash did with Batman in the Justice League.
yeah. Probably so. Plus that the power of Uwu is going to get him too. Maybe who knows? But anyway, we're just going to compare them is what we're going to do. Now Alita's going to be in her Berserker tuned and Imaginos bodies. And Spider-Man's going to be in his normal Spider-Man suit and his what's called the Iron Spider suit. And that suit is the suit that actually has those 4 legs that come out kind of like it was like an Infinity War, where they killed that that one wizard guy that was hanging around with Thanos. I can't remember his name, but
Doctor Strange.
No, Doctor Strange was he's kind of like was on with the Avengers. I can't remember this guy's name though. He's kind of a weird looking guy. Of course, he's an alien, and I think Tony Stark or Iron Man called him Squidward at one point. But anyway, he's so in that movie Endgame,
just like my mate that owes me $20 in the chat.
Oh, he looks like Squidward, does he?
Well, no, just his name.
Oh, is it? Yeah, alien name. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And of course, Alita and Spider-Man will use all their fighting skills and abilities that you normally associate with them. Now, I invited Science Fiction Remnant, and he indicated he wanted to come on, but he's not on yet. And I invited Mike Reyes, but he never responded. He has told me he wants to come on, but he's a pretty busy guy, so I didn't really expect him. But anyway, we're not going to do any spoilers here because, well, for one thing, I have not seen No Way Home yet, but we will be talking about the Spider-Man that's in the movies. Okay. And that's all the movies. I'm not just talking about the Tom Holland Spider-Man, even the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans, because they're all pretty similar, in a lot of ways. So, and Alita, of course, she only has one movie, so I had to expand that a little bit to include the manga. So, so we're going to be looking at Alita from the manga and the movies. Anything you guys want to add to that?
I think even if they were diametrically opposed, Spidey likes to sort of hang off a wall and talk things through, so he'd probably talk around.
Yeah, they'd figure it out pretty quick, I think, in this case, because, Alita has she has the habit of kind of jumping into the fray without thinking, but I think you're right. I think Spider-Man would try to figure out what's going on and be talking to her and stuff like that, and they'd figure it out pretty quick, I think, so.
I think like Alita would be going in head first, but the Spider-Man would be like a bit hesitant, like, oh, no, but then he ends up going anyway.
Yeah.
Because that's what he does in all the movies.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he does eventually do it. But I think in this case, they both would figure out, that they're not each other's enemy, So I think that'd come about pretty quick, I think, And of course, we've seen this slide, many versions of it, many times. Alita has got superhuman strength. She's, can heal quickly. It says relativistic speed. We've had that discussion a few times, whether or not that's canon or not. But even in her Berserker body, she can, from the manga, she can move at like Mach 6.8 or something like that, which is nearly 7 times the speed of sound. So that's pretty freaking fast right there, just in the Berserker body, the Toon body, I am not sure, Maxie, if you're Dizzy, no, I don't recall seeing anything that would indicate they knew how fast her Toon body would go. I don't recall seeing that.
It was not in the realms of the Imaginos body.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
And that was deliberate because they wanted Alita to be stronger than the Bajak, but not stronger than them. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
they sort of put a limiter on her at that point.
And I think the Toon body may not have been as strong as a Berserker body either.
No, I don't think it was.
Yeah, I think she's pretty strong though. We're going to see that even in the Toon body, But very fast reflexes. The fact that she could deflect a bullet, that's just insanely freaking fast. because that bullet was fired at her from 20 to 30 feet away. And if you figure that thing's probably traveling 2,800 feet per second, that's ridiculously fast, ridiculously fast, in terms of reflexes. I think I calculated anywhere from 5 to 10 milliseconds, on a reflex, which is, good God, that's nuts, and then her Imaginos body is even more nuts. I mean, she's even faster reflex wise than that. She's really old, even though she's, got the, well, we're not going to talk about the doll body here, but the doll body, of course, and she, she was like 14 years old, in the doll body. In the Berserker body, she was kind of like 19, I guess, 18 to 19 years old. And I think even by the end of the movie, she was older than that, in terms of her maturity and stuff like that, but, certainly not any older than her early 20s at the very oldest. She has a plasma weapon, and she even has that with the Berserker body, certainly. I don't think she had plasma manipulation in the tuned body. I don't recall seeing that, but she does have that plasma weapon in her Imaginos body. And certainly the plasma manipulation she has in the Imaginos body is even greater than the Berserker body, which is amazing. And of course, she knows Panzerkunst, and our girl, she has an objective. She's going to achieve it no matter what, so that's her in a nutshell right there. Anything you guys want to add to that?
Oh, I'd probably add that at various points in the manga, at least, she has a desire to protect the weak.
Yep.
So she does have a bit of that whole the strong should protect the weak thing.
Yeah.
Certainly, anybody who draws a gun on is fucked. But
yes, yes, that's true.
but if somebody's weak and been bullied or something like that, she's going to step in and slap the bully around. Yeah,
and I think too with her in that in her Berserker body, she has that antimatter micro reactor. That thing is insanely powerful. But as powerful as that is, that Imaginos body being hooked up, especially that 2.1 body being hooked up to the black hole or drawing energy.
Singularity.
The singularity, yeah. And then also being her brain chip being in network connection with Melchizedek. I mean, that's just stupid power right there. I mean, being able to, with a high degree of accuracy, predict every possible outcome in a fight in just microseconds, it's just stupid fast. I mean, it's just, I don't think there's I don't know of any superheroes that could compete with that. I mean, certainly Superman probably, because he's invulnerable. But, I mean, in terms of her abilities, I think those two, that particularly that Imaginos 2.1 body, she's just insanely powerful. I mean, it's just ridiculous, in terms of how powerful she is. So any other thoughts, guys?
No, I think you pretty much summed it up.
Cool. Yeah, we've talked about her many times like this on this one. And then, of course, this is in her Imaginos 1.0 body, and there's that the innards of that suicide machine, and we've had that discussion too. There's really no way to tell how much that thing weighs. I mean, if that was steel, that'd be super duper heavy, but it could be a very light material, because that is, that's 500 years in the future right there. So we don't know, we don't know what that thing is. Now, I think Maxie one time surmised, since there's a steel beam down there in the lower right corner, it could be that that's steel. But no matter what it is, she's holding that sucker up with one hand. I mean, holy crap. She is intensely strong And even in her berserker body, you know, and I've mentioned several times, I was able to calculate that she could curl 800 pounds. She can bench press 3,200 pounds, probably deadlift over 4,000 pounds. You know, I mean, just stupid strong, you know, and that's just her physical strength. You know, that's without her being connected to the singularity. She has got stupid, strong, intense strength. You know, I mean, it's just ridiculous, you know. And then, of course, here's her in her tuned body. And I always like this panel, you know, where, you know, figure 4, and I can't recall the name of that guy. There is sidekick. What's that guy's name, Maxie? You told me one time.
I did, but it's not coming to me right now.
Yeah, anyway, they were in this building, and I guess the building had kind of around them, it kind of collapsed and all that. And of course, he's not paying attention to Elise. Oh, it's a good thing that window was there. And here she's holding up this column from falling on him, you know, with one hand. So it's kind of, I always like that panel, you know, because he's clueless, you know, and she's sitting there with a disgusted look on her face, you know, like, yeah, you dumbass, I'm holding this up from crushing you, you know. So anyway, but that's just another indicator of her strength. And of course, you know, she has fought Zapan a couple of times. Neither one of those went well for Zapan. You know, in the bar, in her doll body, she kicked his butt. You know, and of course, in her berserker body, you know, she sliced his face off. He didn't have much of a chance there on that one. You know, but she's in that berserker body, you know, Zapan's probably a pretty good fighter himself, you know, but he's used to chasing criminals that are probably not very adept at combat or something like that. And she's highly experienced in combat. Of course, she knows Panzerkunst, so, you know, she's going to overpower him every single time. Now, I think in the manga, you know, he does get that berserker body and she's in her civilian body and she still beats him. So it's kind of interesting, you know, that she kind of beats him 3 times, you know. But anyway, that's, you know, kind of in her history there, her confrontations with Zapan. And of course, she fought Gruishka 3 times, or Makaku. And she beat him 2 out of 3 times. The one time he beat her, you know, and he would have killed her, you know, if she hadn't been rescued by Ito and Hugo and McTeague, you know, or Murdoch, if you prefer. You know, but even at that point, even in that fight, there was a couple of times that she came close to beating him, you know, when that big old rock fell in front of him, when she, you know, kind of launched herself at him, pushed him against that wall of rock. You know, that rock fell in front of him. Had it fallen on him, it'd have crushed him, you know, and she'd have won. And when she rammed her hand in his eye, Creek's favorite scene about his niece, if she had been thinking and grabbed his brain chip, because I think he had a brain chip, if I'm not mistaken. Maxie, you or Dizzy could probably tell me about that. If she'd have grabbed that and ripped it out, you know, he'd be dead, you know, but she didn't think about it, I guess. So, but anyway.
Who had a brain chip, sorry?
Gruishka.
Well, in the manga, you actually see his brain inside of the head when she's protecting him by the plasma bubble to get his backstory.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So okay. Then he did have a human brain then, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she did have that telepresent. Angelus brings up a good point. Excuse me, that Gruishka did have a telepresence chip in him, but I don't think that was didn't make him sentient. I think that was just something that Nova could track him, or kind of possess him, or whatever you want to call it. The watcher behind the eyes type thing. So, but anyway, certainly when Alita got her berserker body, I mean, that wasn't a match. I mean, yeah, he surprised her, but she healed real fast. And after that fight lasted all of 10 seconds. I mean, before he was split in half. So, and I'm so sure in her Imaginos body, she would have killed him even faster than that. It had probably been like microseconds, in that body, so extremely good fighter, even against opponents much, much bigger than her. which would also include this guy, Toji. Now, Toji, yeah, he was actually two people, wasn't he? He had I think he had the awareness of some ancient karate master or something in him, didn't he?
No, it wasn't in him. It was associated with him, and the guy was in another dimension apparently.
Oh,
Don
okay.
Don Fua is the guy
Yeah.
you're looking
Yeah,
for
that's
there.
right. Yeah. Oh, that's right. So he was in another dimension when because he ended up dragging Zeka off with him, didn't he?
And I've just
yeah.
found the name of that double crossing dude who was on the train with Alita and Figure
Well,
Four.
that's not this guy here, is it?
His name's Yolg. Yeah, that guy there. His name's Yolg.
Okay. Oh yeah, YORG, is that it or something?
YOLG. Yolg.
LG, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, Alita, I guess that fight with Toji starts out, she's in her Imaginos 2.0 body, and then she gets obliterated. Of course, she comes back pretty quickly, but she, ends up her soul, if you want to think of it, or something like it, her intelligence, they put her in the Imaginos 2.1 body. She gets reconstructed pretty quick. And that's where she's connected to the singularity and Melchizedek. So, the fight didn't last long after that. Now, she didn't kill Toji. Toji ended up, like Maxie said, going to that other dimension, dragging Zeka behind him. So,
Toji didn't drag him. Don Fua did.
Oh, Don Fua did. Okay, yeah. And Zeka didn't want to go, but I guess he was committed to fighting Zex, but yeah, he was going. So anyway, that's the way it worked.
Have you guys seen the Eternals yet?
No.
Oh, okay. There's a mad big boss at the end of that. It's called a Prime Eternal, and it reminds me of some of the big monsters Alita fights.
Ah.
And I was like, I'm wondering if she would be able to smash a Prime Eternal. But you haven't seen it, so you wouldn't know.
When she's fully powered up, she probably would.
Yeah, if she was in that 2.1 body, she probably could. Yeah.
A Prime Eternal is massive. Like its head is the size of a planet.
Yeah. Okay, I got to see this then. Yeah.
It's actually on Disney Plus at the minute. So
cool.
If you got that, it just dropped. I think a couple of days ago on Disney Plus.
Cool. I got to watch that then. Okay. But that's the thing about Panzerkunst. I don't know about fighting someone whose head's as big as a planet. Like maybe Ego or that other character. But she is capable of beating much bigger and what would be seemingly stronger opponents. But of course, size is not everything in a fight. She's, of course, she's got that tail. Creek really likes that tail. But anyway, that didn't sound right either. Okay, well, Creek likes her as Cat Lita. There's another one of those damn bots.
She needs some caddies. That'd finish the lookup.
Yeah, look at me profile picture.
Yeah, there you go.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's it. So anyway, that's a little bit about Alita's capabilities and her, her kind of her history of fighting and what her strength was and all that kind of good stuff. Now, Spider-Man, he's a superhero. Once again, I've said this a few times, and I know Den and I have talked about this too. Alita's not a superhero. She has superhero level ability. There's no doubt about that. But she is definitely not a superhero. But Spider-Man does have superhuman strength, and we're going to see a couple of examples of that. As a matter of fact, I think he's actually stronger than Alita, but we're going to get to that. He's pretty durable. He can take a lot of punishment. Now he doesn't self-heal as fast as Alita does. I mean, he's certainly he does have that durability thing going, but you know, if you cut his arm off, he's not going to grow a new arm real fast. You know, that's not going to happen, you know. Or if you know, severely injuring him by stabbing him or something like that, he doesn't have that self-healing ability like Alita does. He does have extremely fast reflexes, and part of that's his spidey sense, you know, where he can almost, it's almost like clairvoyance, you know, where he can almost sense it like an immediate future type thing, senses danger, you know. Certainly a lot of stamina, and for sure the amazing Spider-Man is extremely acrobatic, you know. He does have an extremely strong sense of good, so he's kind of like Alita in that way. Yeah, Angelus, you're absolutely right. It's premonition. Yeah, that's right. Whereas Alita has that sense to protect the weaker people and stuff like that. He kind of has a similar thing going about, you know, wanting to be good, you know. Now, he is kind of immature, you know, so that kind of works against him, I think, sometimes, you know. But, you know, he's a very capable superhero. There's no doubt about that. Oh, by the way, if anybody's interested, I put down in the description, you know, for the stream, there's a guy named Danko that actually does this battle arena type stuff. And he actually did an analysis of Alita fighting Spider-Man. So if you want to click on that and just see, you know, what that was all about. I think in a couple of places he kind of omitted a couple of things, but it's still a pretty good analysis. You know, I mean, it's going to be similar to what we come up here. You know, he considered her doll body, because he was just going with the movie, her doll body and her berserker body. You know, and of course, Spider-Man is Spider-Man, so he kind of compared those two. So. Okay, Angela says, what's worse, immaturity or being jaded? I would say being jaded is worse, but you know, that's me. So, but anyway, that's old Spider-Man. He's a pretty tough guy. He is a kid, you know, he's a teenager. So that way he's also like Alita, you know. Alita's you know, she's a sort of a teenager, you know, except I think in her Imaginos body, she's more like in her early to mid 30s. So she's not a teenager in those bodies. Even in her Toon body, she's probably in her late 20s, I would guess. You know, I don't know. Now, certainly in her Berserker body, she's going to be probably around 19, possibly 20 years old, maybe, you know, something like that. Any comment on that, Maxie or Dizzy?
Well, there's chronological age and then there's actual age.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, she was asleep a lot of that 300 years, but yeah, she has a lot of experience. And as a matter of fact, that's an edge she has on him, is the experience, you know. And of course, she has a more structured ability to hand-to-hand combat and stuff like that with that Panzer Kunst. He doesn't really have that. Spider-Man doesn't. Now, he's a good fighter. There's no doubt about it. He's a really good melee fighter, but he doesn't have that kind of formal, you know, hand-to-hand combat training, you know, that Alita has when she was in the armed military. So,
but does he need it? I mean, shit, he can do all sorts of other things.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, in a lot of cases he doesn't need it. So. Now, I get the sense, too, that Alita being in the Mauser group, that she's special forces. So she probably got, you know, she got more than the training you'd get in boot camp, you know, if you were in the military. Dizzy, you were in the military. You get some of that training in boot camp, don't you? But you know, probably if you were in like special forces, then you'd get even more of that training. I would guess. I never was in the military, but.
Yeah.
You were in the Army, right, Dizzy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then, of course, here's some examples of Spider-Man's strength. And this is why I think he's stronger than Alita. Here he's holding back a train. That is insane freaking strength right there. You know, I mean, he's, you know, this is when he was fighting Dr. Octavius, I guess. that train was, I don't know how fast that thing was going, but if that thing's even going 10 miles an hour, it'd taken extreme, crazy strength to stop something like that. I think it was going a lot faster than that too. But
if he didn't have his webs, he wouldn't be able to stop it.
Yeah, that's probably true. But he is holding on to those webs, as you can see, you know. So that grip has got to be pretty strong. Plus, that train didn't rip his arms out of his sockets. So, you know, so that tells me this guy's got insane strength.
I would say he's more like Captain America, but with spider webs hands.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that sounds about right. Because Captain America did. Remember, there was that one scene in Captain America and the Winter Soldier, I guess. You know, he was holding a helicopter and stopping it from taking off. Can you imagine that? That's insane strength too, you know, because a helicopter has a lot of lift, you know, and he was able to do that. So I think you're right about that, Dizzy. I think, you know, he's probably in the same, at least in the same ballpark, you know, as Captain America in terms of strength. Now, of course, Captain America, there's some versions of him. There's Worthy Captain America and, you know, just the Captain America, the First Avenger and stuff like it, where his power, his strength, you know, changes over time or something like that, you know. But yeah, he's pretty strong, you know, like Captain America. And here's another case, you know, and this is in Captain America Civil War, where he's fighting Captain America. And you know, he kind of jumps around this jetway, you know, at the airport, and the jetway falls on him, and he holds it up like this, you know. Man, that's some insane, crazy strength too, you know. So, and I think Captain America told him, he said, "Kid, you got heart," you know, something like that, you know. So evidently he's got more than that here. So it's just, you know, crazy, crazy strength, you know. And that this is just another. Now this is Tom Holland's Spider-Man, this is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, but we're treating them the same here. They're Spider-Man, you know. And then of course, you know, Spider-Man, you know, has fought, you know, several folks, you know, like Captain America in that Civil War movie. He fights him. Now I get the sense, even though Spider-Man, yeah, he's probably roughly the same strength as Captain America. He might even be stronger than Captain America. I don't know, you know, but I would say Captain America is a better fighter than he is. So I got the feeling Captain America was really winning the fight, even though Spider-Man kind of shot him with those webs and got his hands tied up. He broke those webs, you know, and you know, kicked Spider-Man into that jetway, you know, and then actually threw his shield and made that jetway collapse on him, which he held it up. But you know, I think Captain America was getting the better of that fight, at least for the brief time they were fighting, you know. But certainly Spider-Man was able to, you know, hang in there with him at the very least, you know. So it's kind of like he was in that same ballpark as Captain America in terms of fighting ability. Now, Captain America is also another one of these guys that has formal training in martial arts or something like that. So, and Spider-Man doesn't, which might have been why Captain America was actually getting the better of that particular fight. And then, of course, Spider-Man fought Doc Ock, and the reason why I got this one in there is that Doc Ock is really a cyborg. He does have those 4, you know, arms that come out of him, you know, so he's got 8 appendages like an octopus does, you know, but each one of those arms is kind of like driven by AI or powered by AI. So he's very much a cyborg, you know, so Spider-Man's fighting him. And that was a long, drawn-out fight, and Spider-Man ends up beating Doc Ock. Now, I don't think he just overpowered him and beat him, but you know, he kind of got him back under his brain, back under control or something, because he kind of went nuts, I guess, with those things, you know, on his back, you know. And you know, I guess you've seen that movie, you know, where he kind of sinks to the bottom of that, you know, there in New York in the harbor or whatever. You know, where that big, I guess it was like it was going to be a black hole or something like this. He comes to his senses, and then of course, Spider-Man was getting the better of him anyway, but it was a really tough fight. But what's important about it is he is a cyborg, so he was actually winning that fight, even if it was just barely, And then, of course, Spider-Man actually fought the Winter Soldier, who is also a cyborg. Now, he's not a total replacement cyborg, as was Doc Ock was not a total replacement cyborg. But you can see his strength here. He was able to catch the Winter Soldier's punch like that and hold it, where that's pretty good strength right there. And I don't think the Winter Soldier or Doc Ock could beat Alita. I don't think that would happen, But it is kind of a testament of his ability to fight cyborgs. He does have that ability. He can hold his own, if not win, against a cyborg. So that I think that kind of puts him at least to a point where we can actually compare him to Alita. So any thoughts about Spider-Man, you guys?
I think you covered it.
Then did I miss anything? I mean, I could have missed something. I don't know.
Those webs are crazy strong in that shot with the train, I've got to say.
Yeah. And the webs, in Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, the webs actually come out of his arm. I guess when that spider bit him, he kind of mutated into a kind of a quasi-human who could shoot webs out of his wrist or something like that. Whereas this version of Spider-Man is more like the comic book version, where he actually, makes a little device that he can put that, he actually, brews that web, in liquid form, and he puts it in these two devices and he shoots it that way. Doesn't matter. Both of them are crazy, crazy strong,
Well, normal spider webs are pretty strong. I mean, have you ever walked through one before and it gets stuck?
Yeah.
All over?
Yeah. I almost walked into an orb spider's web one time when I lived in Florida, and that nearly freaked me out, seeing that big ass thing there ready to. It looked like he wanted to bite me. Of course, he would have only bit me once.
I've always done that before. I walked off track when I was walking out in the bush, and I walked off track to go take a slash and almost walked into one. I was like, fuck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those things are pretty adhesive, so.
But yeah, you can imagine like Spider-Man's webs, which are going to be twice as thick and big and whatever.
Yeah.
And they're going to be pretty freaking strong. Like, because one of his webs was holding a helicopter or something, wasn't it? In one of the movies.
Yeah, that plus holding that train did. Now I think a couple of those webs, did detach from the building he was shooting at him. So at least it wasn't. It's not infinitely strong, but it is crazy ass strong to be able to help him stop a train. I mean, that's and to help hold down a helicopter. Oh yeah, that's pretty freaking crazy, what that is,
But I can see Alita and Spider-Man like off the books, hanging out, eating chocolate, looking at, you know what I mean, all that sort of shit.
Well, they're roughly the same age. I mean, at least Alita in her berserker body.
I mean, and also like a better fit than Hugo, because he could actually spider way his web up to Zalem.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he could carry him up there.
Well, he can spring so far, and he's so acrobatic that he could just dodge that the
defense
blade
ring?
thingy. Yeah, the defense ring. He could dodge that like fucking nobody's business.
Well, he could dodge it. Plus, if he and Alita went up together, he was holding Alita under one arm. She could help him.
I reckon he would make a big spider slingshot on the ground and then pull her back and sling her up.
Yeah, that could happen. It better be fast enough to get by the defense system, though.
But then again, Alita's pretty freaking heavy. But then again, so's a helicopter.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, I could see him though doing something like using his webs to sling his way up to Zalem, because Zalem's really only about 2 miles off the ground, and he could kind of, shoot those webs on those supply tubes, and even if a Nova, kind of got those supply tubes going around, he would shoot on the other side of it, and it would he could just keep going, and Alita, if they shot at them, particularly if she had some kind of shield or something like that, could block those shots. I think if they teamed up like that, they probably could get the Zalem, without them being able to stop them, so.
Imagine like Nova taking over Spider-Man's head and then he becomes a villain.
Yeah.
That'd be epic.
Yeah, he'd have to get that telepresence chip in him, though, wouldn't he? He'd have to capture him first, so that might be difficult.
What if he was wearing Tony Stark's suit and then Nova was able to hack that?
Hack it? Yeah, that could happen. Yeah.
And then
that iron. Yeah.
Yeah. He could hack it to the point where he couldn't get back out of the suit. It's like,
yeah,
you're mine now.
Yep. Yeah, that Iron Spider suit I think it does have nanotech. That's that one where he was on that spaceship, going up, he was trying to, protect Doctor Strange, and you remember Iron Man told him that he was running out of oxygen, so he shot him that suit, and the suit, as nanotech and kind of went around him. That was that Iron Spider suit,
Yeah.
So, and of course, Nova, using technology, it'd be 500 years in advance of anything Tony Stark could come up with. Then, yeah, he could hack it. It'd be like child's play to him, probably, to hack into that suit.
Then couldn't Alita do that in her later on bodies?
Yeah, she can do that in her Imaginos body. She can hack systems.
So she could essentially control Spider-Man in that suit without even.
I think in the Imaginos 2.0 body, she can. I don't know about 1.0. Maxie, do you know whether she has that hacking ability in 1.0 or is that just 2.0? I don't remember.
I do believe when she was in 1.0, she got hacked. So I'm suspecting not. I think it was once she got the Fata Morgana and was connected to Melchizedek. That's when she got the hacking ability, because it was basically, well, my processing power shits all over yours, buddy. So right. Let's take you to the cleaners, bitch. So,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, she was in the 2.1 body then. So
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if she's in a 2.1 body, she could hack Spider-Man.
Do you reckon like Spider-Man's suit but has like an antivirus to block her?
It could be, but I would say if she has
it's fucking Norton's, it won't do anything.
Yeah.
Only if you subscribe.
Yeah, that's right.
We're sorry, your subscription has run out.
Now we're just going to make your computer run like shit, and you're going to get all the viruses.
Where's my credit card? Where's my credit card? Too late.
Or you're going to try to move your right arm, and your left arm is going to move. Yeah, or you're going to try to run, and your legs are just going to make you sit down, or something like that. If she hacks him that way, So, and of course, her technology is 500 years in the future. So his technology, Tony Stark's technology, is going to be primitive compared to anything Alita or Nova would have, So
it would be in Spider-Man's benefit to not wear that suit.
Probably, yeah. He'd probably be better off in this suit right here, that he's wearing, fighting the Winter Soldier. I think he'd be better off because he, really can't be hacked. Now he's not going to be he's not going to be as powerful in that suit. So.
Well, he's just taking away another thing that Alita can fuck him up with.
Yeah, exactly. So. But I kind of agree with you though, Dizzy. I don't think they'd fight. I think they'd hang out. Especially in her berserker body, they'd probably be like teenage buds or something. They'd probably. They'd probably just, have fun, like Maxie says, eating chocolate and shit like that, because he is a teenager, he's going to high school, so he's.
I'd pay to watch that.
Oh yeah, It had to be some serious time travel involved, though. So
just get Doctor Strange to morph him into the future.
yeah, you definitely could do that. And then here's some of the other fights that both of these two have been in. You know, certainly Alita fought those cyborgs in the alley. Now, she was in her doll body there, and she beat the shit out of them. And that was not in an advanced body. You know, I mean, by our standards today, that doll body would be an advanced body. But, you know, for then, no, that was just a run-of-the-mill TR replacement, you know, total replacement cyborg body that, you know, other cyborgs had, you know, other TRs had, you know. So she wasn't nothing special in that regard. Now, what did it for her, though, in that body is that Panzerkunst. You know, I mean, she just literally kicked the crap out of him, you know, especially Romo. You know, she ground and pound him into dirt. You know, that was brutal. And then, of course, even Nisiana being armed with those blades, you know, she made short work of her too. You know, although Nisiana did fight her pretty decently there at one point, but nah, you know, there was no chance for her. And then, of course, beating Gerwishka, you know, and those Centurions. That to me is the most, I guess, impressive scene in the movie in terms of her fighting ability, because, you know, and the novelization also talks about this too, because, you know, when Ito goes into the factory, and of course Alita does the first time to become a bounty hunter, you know, there was 8 Centurions in there because I counted them. But when she went in there the second time, there were more Centurions in there because they had 2 quick shots of her with 6 behind her and 6 in front of her. So evidently Vector had called up additional Centurions to protect the entrance so she couldn't get in, so he thought, you know. And in the I guess in the novelization, they were they were put in you know, kind of more lethal mode, I guess, whatever that was. Maxie, you probably read that. I can't remember what it was he said about them, but they were kill at all cost or something like that, you know.
Yeah, he set them basically to high aggression mode.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So basically, they'd shoot first and not worry about the questions.
Yeah, that's right. Kind of like the Old West. Yeah, Angelus, Uncle Creek does approve of Peter Parker, especially Aunt May. He really approves of her. So, yeah. So, you know, anyway, I don't know about being Peter Parker's Uncle Creek. I don't know about that. But, oh, yeah, I definitely, I think Marissa Tomei is really cute. So, anyway, that's a subject for another stream, I guess. So,
Creaky After Dark.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, but Spider-Man, you know, in that first Spider-Man movie, he fought the Green Goblin, which was, you know, played by Willem Dafoe, and that was a pretty tough fight. You know, Green Goblin almost beat him, you know, but I guess Spider-Man, you know, he's very durable, like say, and he has that spidey sense, and he just was able to dodge an attack that ended up killing Green Goblin, you know. And then, of course, with Sandman, you know, he was fighting Sandman. Sandman was huge, and he was played by he's been in a lot of westerns, this guy. I can't remember his name now, but he was actually pounding Spider-Man pretty bad before, you know, Spider-Man's buddy you know, helped him out. You know, the Green Goblin's son decided to side with Spider-Man on that before they could get rid of Sandman, you know. Plus, I guess if you saw that movie, you know, the Sandman was actually one of the guys that was trying to rob that, you know, that arena, you know, where they were doing the like UFC type fights or wrestling or whatever it was. And, you know, Peter Parker forgave him and all that kind of good stuff. Now, this version of Venom, I didn't really like that much. I like the new version of Venom a lot better, but it was still Venom. So, you know, Spider-Man, you know, certainly fought against him too. And then, and he fought more than just this list. Thanos, he certainly fought against Thanos. And the reason why I got that up there is that Thanos was actually, you know, he actually grabbed Spider-Man, and he probably would have killed him if, you know, if, I guess Iron Man hadn't have been intervened, you know. But if you guys remember on a prior stream, you know, we determined that Alita in her Imaginos body would probably defeat Thanos, you know, because of the speed factor and that kind of thing. So, but anyway, he was able to take a punch from Thanos, and he, you know, kind of gave a couple of punches and kicks himself, you know. So he fared well to a degree, you know. Now I think Thanos would have won eventually, and he had, you know, several of the stones too that actually helped him, you know. I think if Thanos didn't have the stones, I don't know if he could beat Spider-Man, because Spider-Man could just, you know, he could just kind of, you know, stay out of his way and shoot him with webs as long as all day, you know. And I'm not sure Thanos could do anything about it. But with that Power Stone or something else, it'd be a different story, you know, probably. And let's see, I can't think of anybody else that that Spider-Man's fought. You know, certainly we mentioned the Winter Soldier, you know, and certainly one thing about him is that, you know, he did kind of apprehend some criminals, you know, that were robbing local stores and stuff like that in New York, you know. So that's not much of a competition for him, you know. And of course, Alita in the manga, she becomes a bounty hunter, so she's I don't think she was into that long though, was she, Maxie? I think she may. I don't recall her even apprehending anybody, although she may have. I can't remember. So,
are you talking about in the movie?
Not the movie, the manga. I can't remember.
Oh no, she was scooping him up in the manga.
Okay, yeah, I just don't remember. You know, it's been so long since I've read.
There's a couple of panels where she's just like knocking heads off left and right and throwing them in a bag and looking all sweet and happy about it, because she's collecting money for her boyfriend to go to Salem because she's lovely like that.
Yeah,
you know, that whole.
And of course, Spider-Man, you know, he sided with Iron Man in that Civil War thing with Captain America. You know, so that was. You know, he definitely, you know, he's got some skills, as they would say, you know. So Angelus says that, I don't know why you brought this up, Angelus. Yes, Thanos does have some pretty heavy-duty strength and durability. That scene where you saw Hela push the gauntlet over, I think she thought that was a fake Infinity Gauntlet, because she said fake when she pushed it over. I don't know, you know, because I mean, at the end of the I guess the Era of Ultron or whatever it was called, the second, you know, Avengers movie, Thanos had the gauntlet. He didn't have any stones, but he had the gauntlet. So I don't know, you know, I don't know. That may have been fake. I don't know. So. Any other thoughts about this? I know Alita's fought more than just those. You know, she, like Maxie said, she was picking off those, you know, those criminals one by one, you know, just getting as many of them as she wanted. So I guess in that regard, she was a little bit like Spider-Man, you know, where he.
Well, she was in the berserker body at that point, so it was pretty easy for her.
Yeah. Yeah, that berserker body was a level above, more than one level above any of the other TR cyborgs, weren't they? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, that's pretty much it for that, for other people they've fought. Certainly Alita fought in the fall, you know. And there's I guess in that volume 2, of the Mars Chronicles. There's some of that kind of history in there too. I guess that was more of the rebellion, wasn't it? Of course, she fought against the guys, the Barjack and all that. So. Okay, so here's kind of their abilities. Alita, certainly she has superhuman strength too, but she's a cyborg. So her strength is more machine based, whereas Spider-Man's strength is more of I guess you could say like a mutation of humans. He got strength from being bitten by that spider. So his is more organic strength. Now that said, that's still pretty damn strong. They both have nanotech, that's for sure. Particularly Spider-Man in that Iron Spider suit. However, Alita's nanotech is hundreds of years in advance of Spider-Man. So I think in that regard, her nanotech is going to be much more capable, and more potent, and give her a lot more powers than the nanotech would give Spider-Man. In terms of a special weapon, of course, Alita has plasma, particularly in that Berserker and the Imaginos body. Now, she doesn't have that in the Toon body, I don't think. I think Zalem withheld that from her. But Spider-Man doesn't have anything like that. Now, yeah, he does have that web. That's his primary weapon, is that web. And of course, Alita has the Damascus blade. But one thing to point out here is that, we've seen in the movie how that plasma envelops that sword, the Damascus blade. She does not need that Damascus blade to use that plasma weapon, So in a very real way, she's, her plasma weapon is inherent within her. Now, the Tobey Maguire version of Spider-Man, that web is inherent within him. But in the Andrew Garfield and in the Tom Holland version of Spider-Man, it's kind of got that little device on their wrist that they shoot, so it's not inherent. And I don't know if that makes it any worse. But in terms of their speed, yeah, Spider-Man's pretty damn fast. There's no doubt about it. But Alita, now it says relativistic there, but if you wanted to argue with that, say, nah, Gary V, that's not canon, man. Seriously, that's just that one little side story. Okay, in her Berserker body, she can move Mach 6.8. That's still a lot faster than Spider-Man can move. So I think she's kind of got a big time speed advantage here, And of course, fighting skill, I think we mentioned that Spider-Man is a really good fighter. He is, he was able to, hold his own against Captain America, against the Green Goblin and these folks. But Alita has got that Panzerkunst, which is the most efficient, the most, I guess, lethal martial art for cyborgs. And it enables her to fight much more powerful and much larger opponents and win, So, it's not like those, I think on YouTube, you see a lot of these fake martial artists on there. No, it's not like that. Although we know Alita and Spider-Man both are fictional characters. There's no doubt about it. But, just considering their abilities as those characters, and their fighting skill, Peter Parker, he doesn't have any formal martial arts training. He's just a good fighter, whereas Alita has a martial arts training. So yeah, I guess that's right, Justifan. I guess provided that web is a conductor of electricity, maybe so. Maybe could electrocute someone with it. I don't think spider webs themselves. Now I'm talking about the regular spiders, not Spider-Man. I don't think that's I don't think that those are conductors. Could be. I don't know. But but if that web is a conductor, then yeah, he could kind of use electricity as a weapon on that one. I don't recall seeing that in any of the movies. I did not see No Way Home. I didn't see that. I do know in the comic books, I don't recall seeing anything about him using electricity with his webs. Could be. I don't know. I just don't remember. I didn't really read that many comic books in the past 50 years. So I don't really know. Could be, though. So I guess to make a kind of a long story painfully longer, I would give Spider-Man the edge in terms of strength. Now Alita's pretty damn strong, able to curl 800 pounds in her berserker body. Her Maginot body is even stronger than that, order of magnitude stronger. And, able to bench press, probably over 3,000 pounds and deadlift over 4,000 pounds. Yeah, that's pretty freaking strong right there. And then her Maginot body, she's even stronger. But Spider-Man being able to hold back a train, that's stupid strength right there. I mean, it's just, it's insane, what he did. So I would give him the edge on strength. But after that, nope. I would give Alita the edge in everything else. Because now you could argue whether or not the Damascus blade is more powerful than the web. If you wanted to put a check over there in the web and make it tie, or maybe give him an advantage on the web. Okay, I could see that possibly, But even if you flip that, maybe you give him the edge on weapon, she still got him 2-1. So, I think Alita is going to win. And particularly in her Maginot body, she's definitely going to win. She's going to win big time if they fight. Now, I don't think they're going to fight. I think they're going to be buds. That's what I think. They probably, if Spider-Man could get if he could get to Iron City 540 years in the future, and they would probably end up going to Cafe. It's probably where they'd go. To have whatever they wanted to have there, provided, of course, Hugo was still dead. So, any other thoughts about this, guys?
Not off the top of my head. I think you covered it pretty well, man.
Yeah. The one thing it did occur to me that I might be wrong on the strength thing is that even in her berserker body, she's got that antimatter microreactor. That's going to be pretty freaking strong. But that being connected to the singularity, yeah, you can make the case you could flip that one too, But I think at best, Spider-Man would have the edge in only one of these categories versus Alita. At best for Alita, she would have the edge in all the categories, particularly in that Imaginos 2.1 body. Because if they did fight, Spider-Man wouldn't last a millisecond. He just wouldn't. He's not as fast as her. He's not as good a fighter as her. He doesn't have the experience she has. So I think that would be to his disadvantage, I think. Okay. Well, anyway, that's kind of what the Creek thinks. I think Spider-Man might be a little bit of an obstacle, but Alita's going to take care of him if they fight. They're not going to fight. They're going to be pals. That's what I think. Am I missing a category?
Nah.
I guess the use of weapons. I guess if you wanted to throw firearms in there, she certainly has the edge there because she knows firearms. He doesn't. But in the movies, well, except for that one point where she fires that Gatling cannon at the Deckman. That's.
What was the go with those collapse rounds she got to kill? That was the collapse rounds were specifically to destroy nanotechnology, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and she knew how to use that, didn't she?
So she would be able to use that on Spider-Man's suit, which is nanotech.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, on that Iron Spider suit. Yeah, I think she could use that weapon. So yeah, the use of firearms would definitely be in her advantage there.
So again, Spider-Man shouldn't be wearing that suit if he's going to go up against.
Yeah, I think Spider-Man would cow down to Alita eventually. Of course, I think what he'd do is he'd be smitten with her. I mean, that uwu is going to get him. That's what I think. I think he's going to think, "Ooh, she's nice." I think that's what he's going to think. So and then of course the Creek's going to say, "You leave my niece alone." That's what's going to happen. Let's see. Has anybody seen No Way Home? I have not seen that, just a fan. I don't know, Maxie or Dizzy, have you seen Spider-Man No Way Home?
I have not seen it, no.
Yeah, I definitely want to see it. There's no doubt about that. I've enjoyed the Tom Holland version of Spider-Man. The Tobey Maguire version was pretty good, Also, the Andrew Garfield version was pretty good. But those guys, I don't know, they played like they were in school, but you could tell these guys are like in their 30s. So, no, they're not high schoolers, But Tom Holland, he looks like a high schooler, doesn't he? So, yeah, I kind of like that about his version of Spider-Man, I think.
I think my favorite Spider-Man movie was the animated one, Into the Spider-Verse. I thought that was really well done.
Oh, that's the one where Peter Parker meets that kid, isn't it? And how does he transfer powers to him, or what does he do? How does he do that?
He goes into the different Spider-Man worlds and meets up with the other Spider-Men and their version.
Okay.
It's actually really well done. It's really sort of done real it's like an actual comic as well. Like it's really, really good, and the CGI was really well done as well.
Okay, I got to check that out too. So, by the way, have you guys seen both? I'm not sure the third episode's come out. Have you seen Boba Fett yet?
Yeah, I've seen all of them.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's pretty good. Is the third?
I reckon that's awesome.
Oh, I do too. Is the third episode out yet?
Yeah. The third one's
cool.
The one where the you watch that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I've enjoyed it. I mean, I really like that second episode where he teaches those Tusken Raiders how to drive those damn speeders.
Yeah. I don't know why people were hacking on that. I thought that was unreal. That was like one of the best scenes.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was cool. Trying to teach somebody how to drive one of them damn things, and they don't speak your language, and they're a different species and all that. To me, it was kind of hilarious, And there's another one of those bots, so you guys don't click on it. Of course, I just block the shit out of it.
Have you clicked on one before? What adventure does that take you on, Creek?
No, I've never clicked on one and never will. I'd never say never, but if I haven't lost my mind, I'm going to block it every time. So I just wish people would be honest. So anyway, that's, I guess, asking too much. So anyway, I think we all agree that Alita is going to be much more powerful than Spider-Man, although Spider-Man's pretty cool. There's no doubt about it, Any other thoughts, Maxie or Dizzy?
No, I'm good, man.
Yeah, I thought Science Fiction Remnant was going to come on. I told him what we were going to do, and oh, wow, that sounds cool. I'm going to be on there, and I sent him a link and all that, but I guess something came up. So,
yeah, it's been happening a lot lately.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, just a fan. Yep. I think, yeah, I agree with you on that one. I mean, that's one of the things I do like about Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett, is they're telling you the story. That to me, that's enjoyable. I mean, yeah, I like action and all that, but particularly that second episode had action. It had pretty good, really good action in it. When they were going after that. Yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, they're telling the story, and some folks, I guess, they just want action all the time. I guess.
But you can tell the actual, not the. Well, I don't know. I feel like the Rodriguez directed episodes telling the story, whereas the second episode wasn't directed by Rodriguez; it was more action. And I feel like a lot of people are saying that as well. Like the first one was story, the second one was action. the third one is building up again. Like it's like Rodriguez builds them up, and another director does the action in the episode following that one. But yeah, I don't know. Like it's cool to, like, the first episode was wicked. I was always wondered if he ever got out of that pit, the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, let me see what the Book of Boba Fett's doing here. Okay, I'm looking at the on the tomato meter. Tomato. Oh God, Gary, tongue-tied bastard. I get tongue-tied. Tomato
I think
meter.
after 70 years and change, you would have worked that out, mate.
Yeah, you would think. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, yeah, 90%. You know, on the critic score, but the audience score is 67%. I don't understand that. I mean, I'm only
people are stuck in their ways, mate. They're stuck in their 80s bloody, you know, they don't like anything new. They don't, you know what I mean? Like, and a lot of people can pull all the stuff that's coming out of these first 3 episodes from all the comics.
Yeah.
Like, that's where it comes from. Like, I don't know why people are whinging.
Well, they don't want characters to grow and change. They're so incapable of dealing with change that, this character's a bounty hunter. He's a prick. Oh, wait on, he's not quite a prick. It's, you know, he's got older and wiser. Oh, no, he can't do that.
Yeah, he was a bounty hunter when he was younger. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Years have passed, but they're just they're not taking that into account.
Well, he even said that in the first episode. He said, I'm not a bounty hunter. And that woman, you know, I guess played by Jessica Biel, says, well, I've heard different or something. Or that wasn't that. Maybe it was that alien, I guess, that ran that crime syndicate, I think, said something to him, but they had heard different, you know, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I just reckon I don't know. I got a feeling they're knocking him down to, like, as in the directors and the way the story's going, they're knocking him down to bring him up to an epic scene to where he's just going to cut sick.
Yeah.
Like the way everyone wants him. He's going to be riding that bloody Rancor in some massive battle, and it's going to be unreal.
Well, he's been holding it back, you know. It's been all build up. And the thing is that most of the time when you see Boba Fett, it's been in the movies and there's been no build up. It's just been, there he is. And
and there he is. Yeah.
And he's, you know, run off with Han Solo and all that sort of shit. But they're now seeing this is a different side of him, and this is a different presentation of his adventures, and they're not dealing well with it. It's like, oh, this isn't the same formula, and I don't like it, kind of crap, which is boring as fuck. Go away.
I mean, he's doing more than just standing in the corner and nodding his head.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, you look at the Fandom Menace and you can tell immediately that they're just there to bitch about things. They're not there to build anything up. They're there to tear it down.
Yeah.
They're those sorts of people, and that's a real shame.
Yeah, it is. Well, I know I'm enjoying it. That's for damn sure.
Yeah,
Lee Lemon says that he thinks the collapsor rounds are specifically designed to destroy berserker nanocells. You know, he may have a point there.
No, they are.
But that doesn't mean they wouldn't be effective against other nanotech. It doesn't mean that. Could be, though. Could be. You know, that maybe if she shot one of those that collapsor around at Spider-Man in that Iron Spider suit, it maybe wouldn't have an effect. That's possible. But I do think even in his Iron Spider suit, if she fought him, if she did, I think she'd win. You know, because I just think she's going to have the edge in a lot of different areas, you know. If they did fight, it would be like a lover spat. So there you go. So, you know, teenage lover spat is what that'd be. So, yeah, that was pretty cool how he fought Doc Ock. You know, there's no doubt about that. Okay, guys, I can't think of anything else. Alita and Spider-Man, I think Alita's more powerful. I think she's, I'm going to go back on that strength thing. I think being hooked up to the singularity, she's going to be much stronger than Spider-Man. So I, might have to switch that strength thing. And in terms of the weapon, I think maybe that's more of a tie, I think, Damascus blade versus the web. You know, he could certainly shoot that web and grab a hold of the Damascus blade. Now, she's so strong, he might not be able to pull it away from her. But even if he did, she still wouldn't need it because she's got that plasma weapon. So I'm not sure it matters. So I might would go back on this and give Alita the edge on strength, but make the weapon part a tie, give them both a check on that. So either way, though, I think Alita is going to be more powerful than Spider-Man. But they'd be buddies. So I think that's the way that would work.
I think that if they came across each other and there was some anonymity, Spidey would just like hang up on the wall out of arm's reach and talk it through. Yeah, I think that's I think that's exactly right. I think that's how that thing would work. She might try to get him, but I think he would be able to keep her at arm's length long enough to convince her that, hey, I'm on your side. I'm not, you know, I'm not here to hurt you or fight you or anything like that, you know. And I think she'd probably believe him because he's you know, Spider-Man had that, he's got that real strong sense of good, and I think he's honorable, you know, so I think she'd figure that out, you know. Okay, well, anyway, that's pretty much it. I think our girl is probably going to be in a comparison, not a fight, in a comparison, she wins. Okay, even in her berserker or tuned body, I think she's going to win. You know, the tuned body might be a little bit more evenly matched, you know, because she doesn't quite have the power that she has in the berserker or the Imaginos body, but I still think she would have the edge, you know. It'd be close, though. I think it'd be a lot closer, you know. Yeah. As long as he has no butterfly appearance. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I like that one scene, you know, where her and that dude that betrayed him, and then, of course, you know, figure four on top of that building, and this butterfly comes up. She shoots the whole side of the wall out, you know. She's trying to get that butterfly, and figure four says, "What the hell was that?" We're trying to shoot that butterfly. You know, that was funny, I think. Huh. Okay, so our girl wins the comparison. Did we miss anything?
Probably, but it's still good. Yeah, we got everything.
Yeah, and like I say, that's you know, down in the description for the stream, you'll see that Danco video where he does a pretty good job of sizing up, you know, the combatants, and he does a really good analysis of how they fight each other and stuff like that. I mean, I enjoy watching some of his stuff, you know, and he has Alita going up against Spider-Man. That's one of the reasons I picked this, you know, so I suggest go watching that. Now, the one thing he does in his that we didn't do here was he's comparing movie Alita with movie Spider-Man, you know, and she's in her, he's comparing her in both her doll body and her berserker body, you know, but it's still really good. I think he did a great job, you know, so. Okay, yep. Alita loves her Uncle Creek. Any questions? Maxie, you want to talk about this? Right. What's that?
I think you've got the right of it.
Yeah. You want to talk about this one, Maxie? Are you going to be the host?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think that Angelus was available to host it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been trying to have an art stream for like 6 months, and it's been a bit hairy.
Yeah.
I've got Mattow and Cran on board for tomorrow. But if anybody knows any other Alita artists that might be available, please direct them to me or Creaky.
Yeah.
looking for some other Alita artists who might want to come on as well and have a chat about their work.
Yeah, I got on Reddit and put a post out there. I'll do that again just to see.
Did anybody reply to it?
No. So anyway, but I'll put another one out there, So I'll even put one on Facebook too. I didn't do Facebook, so yeah, that'll be a good stream. I like those art streams, particularly when they show us some examples of their artwork. That's really neat. I remember that one that I was in. God, that's been a while.
It has.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. I've been trying for the last 6 months, but just getting the artists available has been.
Yeah.
I've been pushing it uphill, put it that way.
Yeah, it's like herding cats. Is what that's.
I know. I can do that. You just wave food at them and they follow you around. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You can't drive them like cattle, though. That's for sure. So.
But nah, got to have some fun stuff in 2022. And of course, it's episode 98. So the big 99 is the week after. So stay tuned for that one.
Yep. And I guess if you want to get on the Radio Chaos stream, there's the guest sign-up list. I guess I'll add that to the description after the show, so you can click on that too if you want to, add a topic that you might like to discuss or just jump on one of those streams. Maxie's a little more organized than we are here, so we kind of.
I attempt to be.
Yeah. Sometimes it kind of goes off a rail, but most of the time it kind of works out, I think, mostly. So, but anyway, that's a really good stream. That's like I say, it's more structured, and we tend not to go off the rails there as much as we do here. I mean, anytime Dan's on a stream, we're going to talk about Dragon Ball. So but that's okay. I like Dragon Ball too. It's a lot of fun. So,
he's absolutely mad keen about what's her name? Shantae, that's the last.
Yeah, he talked me into downloading one of those games, and I downloaded Risky's Revenge and played that a little bit. It's a lot of fun. There's no doubt. Now, he told me that's the worst game of a bunch of them. So I went, oh, damn, I got the worst game. So, but it's still fun. I still enjoyed playing it, so, and yeah, she's a waifu. So anyway, of course she is, if Dan's going to recommend it, so she's going to be a waifu. So. Okay.
So yeah, we'll be talking about artwork, new and old, and we might pull up a few favorites to talk about why we like them.
Yep.
That sort of thing. I know that Cran's not real keen about talking about other people's artwork, but if you're positive about it, I can't see the problem.
Yeah. And of course, we kind of go more into Alita news on Radio Chaos stream too. We don't do that too much here. We're too disorganized, but I don't know, Angelus.
Yeah,
is he going to be
our ace
on?
reporter Angelus? No, well, I don't think he's going to be on. He's going to be working. So
okay.
He might put the news together, but I'll have to be on the ball. I'll have to be the backup ace reporter.
Yeah, and I think Tony's going to be the stream man. Star of Elion's going to be the stream manager. The last couple of weeks, things come up for him, and his family and that, but that's okay. It works out, since we both have access to the Alita Army channel, so we can both stream to it. I've kind of figured out, Maxie, how to do that with StreamYard. If Tony, if he creates the stream, I can still stream to it. The only thing I can't do is I can't put some of the, the fans' comments, in the stream, because StreamYard won't let you do that. Because I've tried that last time, click on it, say you can't do that because it's not a stream that we created or something like that, so. But still, we can stream to it, so it's not a big deal. So, but I think Star of Elion's going to be he's going to be the stream manager tomorrow. So, but Creek is going to be there. There's no doubt about it. So, cool. Okay. And here's our queen. And this is the Creek's favorite, Maxie, wait for it, actor.
Hey, he's got it right.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
21st century. Yes. Although I tell you what, I did see a YouTube video that used that term actress. You know, I went, whoa, you know, but be that as it may, Creek thinks, you know, that Rose's, she is definitely top tier, man. She's a great actor, you know, and if it wasn't for her, Alita wouldn't be what she is today, I don't think. So.
That's certainly true.
And of course, all of us in the Alita Army, we love her to death. So, you know, that's the way that one works. Okay, so why is this image here? Well, this image is here because the Creek likes it and because he's running the stream. And it's kind of like one of the comments that was in the chat a while ago. Creek, it's your stream, it's your rules. So, okay. But anyway, yeah, Creek likes this image. And just to paraphrase Grishka, it's not just that I'm only here for our girl, but we're only here for our girl and the Alita Army. Okay, any last thoughts? I guess we lost Dizzy. I guess he had to get off. So,
yeah, probably had to go watch the cricket.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay, so I guess, you know, no further discussion. I guess we will end with just Maxie and I doing the call to action. So that would be on my count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Film those sequels,
baby. Okay, good night and good day, and we'll see you on the Radio Chaos stream tomorrow.
Nice.